and we will continue the fight until the entire Sahel region is recovered.
Across the Sahel, something is changing. The language of diplomacy is giving way to the language of preparedness. In recent days, Burkina Faso has reportedly taken steps that signal a new phase in its security posture, while its leader issues a warning that has captured attention far beyond the region, a warning of what he calls a coming black winter. At the same time, global powers are adjusting their military footprints in West Africa, strengthening alliances and securing strategic interests. To many Africans, these developments feel connected, not as isolated events, but as pieces of a much larger geopolitical puzzle. This video examines what is being reported, what is confirmed, what remains speculation, and why many Africans believe the Sahel is once again becoming the center of global power struggles. One of the most symbolic developments came when President Ibrahim Traoré renamed the country's Ministry of Defense and Veterans Affairs to the Ministry of War and Patriotic Defense. Names matter. They signal intent, mindset, and national direction. Supporters view the change as a declaration of seriousness, a message that sovereignty and self-defense are no longer abstract ideas, but urgent priorities. Critics argue it escalates rhetoric in an already tense region. What is clear, however, is that the move aligns with a broader shift across the Sahel, where governments are redefining how they relate to both internal security threats and foreign influence. Around the same time, reports began circulating that Burkina Faso had acquired advanced long-range military systems. While details remain unconfirmed and independent verification is limited, the reports alone have been enough to trigger international speculation and regional concern. Security developments in West Africa rarely happen in isolation. Just days after Burkina Faso's symbolic shift, the United States confirmed the delivery of military supplies to Nigeria, describing it as support for ongoing security operations and a continuation of a long-standing partnership. Officially, this assistance targets insurgency and regional instability. Unofficially, many Africans see a pattern: military reinforcement in strategic locations, near resource-rich zones, during a time of political realignment in the Sahel. Perception matters in geopolitics. Even when actions are framed as defensive or cooperative, history has taught Africans to ask deeper questions about timing, intent, and long-term consequences. At the heart of many fears lies one uncomfortable reality. The Sahel is rich. Uranium in Niger, gold in Burkina Faso, and lithium in Mali are not just national assets. They are globally strategic resources. Uranium powers nuclear energy. Lithium fuels electric vehicles and modern technology. Gold remains a timeless store of value. In an era defined by energy transitions and supply chain insecurity, these resources have never been more important. African history offers painful lessons about what happens when strategic resources intersect with weak sovereignty. This is why, for many, today's military movements revive memories of past interventions, whether justified in the language of security, democracy, or stability. President Traoré's phrase, Black Winter, is intentionally evocative. It does not describe a single event, but a period of hardship, pressure, and confrontation. A time when Africa may face economic strain, political destabilization, or external coercion. To his supporters, the warning is a call for vigilance and unity, a reminder that Africa must anticipate challenges rather than react to them. To critics, it risks amplifying fear, But even critics acknowledge that such language reflects genuine anxiety about where current trajectories may lead. Importantly, Traoré's message was not aimed solely at Burkina Faso. It was directed at Africa as a whole, urging preparedness, strategic thinking, and Pan-African solidarity.
The terrorists are strengthened by many foreign fighters, who are not actually. When I take the case of Burkina, there are many criminals there who are not Burkinabe. There are also instructors who come from various countries to teach them many techniques. But it's not terrorism, in fact, it's imperialism. Their objective is to keep us in a permanent war, prevent us from developing and continue to exploit our resources. That is why they have every interest in bringing explosives teams into the mines, to deploy various types of mines. Today's terrorists use combat drones. These are professionals from certain countries who come to teach them all this. All of this is to keep us in a state of insecurity. However, we are aware of the situation. We adapt each time to their mode of action. And
yes, here we are, greeting to you all, family, brothers and sisters of Africa. Hopefully you're okay and doing well. Welcome back to your lovely channel, Make Africa Great. Traoré continue to shock cowards and weak leaders in the continent of Africa. As you heard, family, Traoré continue to prepare Burkina Faso for the coming of Black Winter. What you heard is not about a declaration of war. It's about readiness and preparedness. Also awareness about what is going on and what is coming. Of course, Traoré has already warned about the coming of Black Winter. If you look at the situation of our mother continent, Africa, right now, starting in the northern part of the continent, you know what is going on in Libya, have seen and watched on television. African Union welcomed the signing of peace agreement between two parts in Libya. Just imagine till today, Libya has no government. Since Western power came in and removed Gaddafi and telling us that they want to restore democracy, Libya has no president, has no leadership. And this bring me to know that this Western power or this Western democracy is not working for Africa. If Western democracy is working, why not working in Libya? They removed Gaddafi by telling us that they are restoring democracy in Libya. Look at the situation of Libya today. Okay, let us go in the western part of our mother continent Africa, in the Sahel. Look what is happening in Nigeria. Despite US has delivered bulk of military equipment, still Nigeria or some parts of northern Nigeria are not at ease. In the West Africa, there is still problem of peace. If we come to the Horn of Africa and in the middle of the continent of Africa, go to Sudan. Look what is happening there. It's about war. Go to the southern parts of southern part of our mother continent Africa, starting with northern Mozambique. Yes. Go to Democratic Republic of Congo. Labels. Africa is not at ease. But look, if you look these areas where there is instability, all areas there are resources. If you talk about Libya, you talk about oil. There is oil. If you go in the Sahel, there is uranium, lithium, gold. If you go to Democratic Republic of Congo, anything that you know, all kind of minerals you know in this world are in Democratic Republic of Congo. Go to Sudan, gold. Go to Somalia, oil. Go to Mozambique, northern Mozambique. It's about natural gas and oil. So all areas where there is conflict, there are resources. So to those who have resources, they have to be prepared. And that's why you see leaders in Sahel, they know that they have resources. If you talk about uranium, you're talking about Niger. If you talk about gold, you're talking about Mali, Burkina Faso, lithium. All those resources are found in those countries. So these countries know very well that these powerful nations, especially imperialist nations, they want resources. You know, when they captured Maduro, people may think Maduro has done something terrible, something, maybe it's like Maduro did something never done in this world. But at the end of the day, we witnessed Trump welcomed companies to go and invest in Venezuelan oil. Trump said he's leading Venezuela. Look right now what is going on between US and Iran. It's not about protesters, it's not about people. It doesn't mean that America loves so much the people of Iran. If America loves so much the people of Iran, why they want to send troops in Iran? So this can show us what these powerful nations want. They want resources. They want Iranian natural gas. They want Iranian oil. And the main issue here is to counter China and Russia. So for Traoré to own or to acquire these resources and these air defense systems is to make sure that Burkina Faso is safe. Because, as you heard, Nigeria has received equipment, bulk of equipment from the United States of America. But also there's a fear that maybe these resources are being prepared to be sent in or for these Western powers to invade Sahelian countries. You know, they tried one time by using ECOWAS. They failed after Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso decided to come together. And finally, they formed their own army. They said, if you touch Niger, you are touching all of us. You know why they decided to trying to attack Niger? It's because of uranium. The way you saw Nigeria quickly send troops in Benin. You know why they feared Benin? It's not about Benin. They fear the growth of alliance of Sahel states. They understood very well that if Benin is in the hands of patriotic Beninese or the people of Benin who are so patriotic, Benin will join the alliance of Sahel states. So ECOWAS will collapse. And ECOWAS has been there to serve the interest of the West. So what you see Burkina Faso is doing or Traoré is doing, it's not about maybe preparing for war. No. Burkina Faso is at war, of course. These Western power, through ECOWAS, through these people, they're trying to take out Captain Ibrahim Traoré. The way they have done to Gaddafi, the way they have done to Nkrumah, Patrice Lumumba, and others, that's what they want to do. So Traoré understood very well. You know, just imagine a single leader surviving 35 assassination attempts. You can see. Some may think maybe it is because he came through military, so those who are military coup, those who may be overthrown, they want to revenge. No, it's not about revenge. It's about resources. Maduro is not about revenge, it's about resources. If you talk about Libya, it's not about revenge, it's about resources. They want resources. And if you listen, what these powerful nations are talking right now, it is about control of resources. They want to seize resources up to maybe 2050. They want to own these resources. You know, right now, America has succeeded to take control of oil American companies have a lot of oil. These submarines, these warship and other things that you see, these aircraft, they use oil. So if you don't have oil, you cannot run all those things. They run generators to produce energy and power. So all those things needs energy. So if you don't have energy, you can't run all these stuffs. So that's why you see America is looking for energy and resources. So family, have been arguing Africa. If there's a time for we Africans to unite, it's this time. But because we have a lot of cowards, we have a lot of puppets, they don't see the Black Winter coming. They're not ready to come together and unite. This is not about Burkina Faso, this is about Africa. What Traoré is doing is to show Africa the way. The problems that we have, Africa, we forget very easy. And we have learned nothing from the history. We know, but we don't act. That's why I've said we have cowards and we have puppets. Puppets are there to accomplish the missions of others. Because their families are enjoying, because their families are out there, so they see things is okay. They don't think about the future of this continent. Because they have homes in different capitals in Europe, in America, they don't care about others. That is the characteristics of puppets. They took resources, they hide somewhere. So they're in Africa because they were born in Africa. But these are coconuts. Brown out, white inside. So don't expect changes, but have argued young people, let us push unity among Africans. Let us push love among ourselves. There's no other time we'll come together. Since the failure of United Africa under Kwame Nkrumah, look, go back historically and see what happened to Africa, how Africa faced challenges. We have faced we are about to collapse right now. We are about to collapse. We are at a critical point as Africans, as black people. Tell me what we own. We own nothing. If you talk about technology, we own nothing. It doesn't mean we don't have technology. We have technology, but the technologies that are dominating in the world are not owned by Africans. Look today, Africa with horrible land, water and rainfall through all the continent. Africa cannot feed ourselves. Come to technology, we have nothing. What do we have? It's because of this unity. And we know very well that this division is a key point for weak Africa. Africa is weak because of division. Even our leaders understood this, but they're not acting to solve this issue. They fear their masters will take them out from power. That's what they fear. They are not led. They have welcomed these bases, foreign bases, so they fear that at any time they will be captured. And you know, America to capture Maduro, it's also a message to other leaders, especially those who are cowards, that if you don't fall, if you don't bow, we are going to capture from your realm. Where you are, we'll capture you. But to leaders like Traoré, who are so brave, yes, let us capture me, but I will not bow. Those are kind of leaders that we want in the continent of Africa. Do you think they can kill all of us? No. We have to come together and unite as Africans. Traoré is our leader. Traoré must be renamed a president of Africa. Not a president of Burkina Faso, a president of Africa. African Union must be renamed or renovated because it's not serving the interest of Africans. So let us not speak for too long, family, brothers and sisters. Black winter is coming and Traoré is preparing for black winter. And if you're not prepared, make sure that you find a wolf and kill it. Then you take its skin and create a jacket to protect you and your family and your community, as well as your nation and Africa in general from black winter. After that, if you have something to share with us, please do so through the comment section. Have a nice time. See you next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make African great. Thank you, freedom. Thank you, Africa.